I'd like to give you a quick demo of our new tool called MagnetoGuides. So MagnetoGuides is a tool specifically aimed at people that have to do structured layout. Layout typically for forms, paper forms, where page items have to be in certain positions in relation to other page items and so on, where there's a lot of repetitiveness and these things. So MagnetoGuides has quite a number of features, but I'll just show the most important ones. So first of all, I'll show you what a magnetic guide is. First create a guide, put it somewhere on your page. That's a regular guide. Now we go to the API menu, select the MagnetoGuides menu, and there's a sub-menu called Magnetize Guide, and that's where the magic starts. So by just selecting that, you can see that the guide has changed appearance. It's changed from color, and also it was a page guide, but it's automatically become a spread guide. And you can also see on the layers palette that there is now a new layer called Magneto layer, and this layer is this guide is actually on that Magneto layer. So magnetic guides are actually nothing different to regular guides. The only difference they have is that they are on this special layer. Merely by being on that layer, they take on this new behavior. Okay, so let's now create a page item, and you see this page item ended up on the Magneto layer, so I don't really want it there. I want it just on layer 1. And let's create another page item. And now watch what happens when I move this magnetic guide around. You see, by moving the guide, I automatically move all snapped page items. So they have been snapped to the guide and they stay snapped to the guide. So that's the first, most basic form of the magnetic guide. You just use it to move things around and make sure they stay aligned to that particular guide. Now let's create a second guide, put it about here, and we can make it a magnetic guide again. So there's many ways to do it. You can go through the menu, say magnetize guide. You could use a shortcut if you assign a shortcut to that menu item, or you could even move that guide to the Magneto layer. Doesn't really matter how you do it. So we make it into a magnetic guide, and then we snap the page items to the guide. And now watch what happens if we reposition the guides. See, now the page items stretch. Instead of just repositioning themselves, they adhere to both guides, and to do that they have to stretch. There's no way around it. So we can even do a mix where some page items are attached, and some page items are attached to one guide, and some page items are attached to two guides. You see, like one of the page items just moves, whereas the other two reposition themselves. So let's do a slightly more elaborate layout now. Suppose I have a headline here. So a headline, let's make that readable. Let's say 48 point. And here I have some body text, and let's make that 18 point. And what I do is I also fill up the text with some placeholder boilerplate text. Suppose that's an article. So now these magnetic guides make it very easy to restructure this. You see, like just moving them stretches the two frames. Now suppose I wanted a color bar between them. Easy to do. Again, yeah, don't keep it on the magnetic layer. Fill that bar with a color, let's say cyan. So we're still happy. Things stretch and shrink as we want, but now we really would like this bar to be a bit narrower than the two text frames. So a bit like this. So now suddenly the magnetic guide is not helping us anymore, because I can move the text frames stretch and shrink, but this color bar doesn't do anything anymore. So to fix that, all I have to do is create two additional guides and roughly position them here. Make them magnetic, and the easiest way to do that is to select both of them by stretching a selection rectangle across them. Say magnetize guide. So now I have 4 magnetized guides. And now the new trick is I select these two leftmost guides, again by stretching a selection rectangle across them. And then I say link guides. See, and what has happened is there's a little page item that appeared here between the guides. I do the same at the other side and I link the guides together. So now these guides are all linked together, and watch what happens now. I take any which guide, left one, right one, this side. See that the color bar neatly resizes along with the text frames, even though it's inset towards the middle. So these are rigid links. These links between those two guides are rigid. They're always the same size and they keep the guides exactly that distance apart. So that's simple rigid links. Now I'll just create a quick new document and now we'll do something else, which are called the stretchy links. So stretchy links are again linked guides, but with some more flexibility to them. So I'll just position some guides at some regular distances at 6 picas, 9 picas, 12 picas. I'm looking at the ruler at the top, which is currently in picas. Let's do one at 18. We don't do the one at 15. Let's do a one at 24. So now I just pull a selection rectangle across all these guides, make them all magnetic. Okay, they're all magnetic guides now. And now the new thing is I link the guides proportionally. Okay, so again, there have been some page items that are created here on the pasteboard to link those guides, but now see, like the first 4 guides are at even distances and then the 2 last guides are at larger, double the size distances. Now watch what happens if I reposition this one that's at 24 picas and I go to 48 picas. See, like these are still twice as wide compared to these. So the first 3 are a certain size and the next 2 are twice as wide. So this is a proportional arrangement. So they're stretchy. The links are not rigid, they stretch or shrink, but I make sure that the guides maintain the same aspect ratio between them. So to show you a practical application of what can be done with stretching and repositioning and so on, I've made a demo document which is part of the download. So you see, this is like an inlay card for a magazine. So, and lots of guides have been created with links between them, some rigid, some stretchy. So for example, if I reposition this, watch what happens. This little checkbox moved along with this. This little credit card bar has resized itself and become smaller, so I can widen it up again. I can reposition individual items in between, so this one, these 2 shrunk compared to this. And also like the address area, this is the address area. If I just, let's say, move the bottom one out, see, it neatly spaces out all the address zones between that zone, because this is a stretchy arrangement. So this is a little application of magnetic guides where I can make sure that my layout always looks nice, even if I still have to reposition certain things, because the guides make sure that all the relations are maintained. So, and it's not even necessary to always have linear relations, so I won't go into much detail about this one, but this is a little sample where there are some square cells, like the guides are all arranged in a square pattern, but the moment I move one of these, let's say this one, you see suddenly I get more like a logarithmic pattern, like things exponentially grow, like they always get a certain amount larger, they multiply by a certain. So there's a more complex arrangement. I won't go into much detail how it actually works, but this is possible with magnetic guides. So if you are interested in using this and see if you can apply it, so we have a 30-day, a month-long free unlimited demo. So after a month it times out, but then if you like the tool, you can actually purchase a license for it through the tool itself. So I suggest that you just go to our website, which you should probably be on right now, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this movie. And you just download the tool, install it in InDesign and have a play. And if it is for you, just go through the API menu, API-D Tool Assistant, select MagnetoGuides, and of course this one is licensed, but if it's not licensed yet, you just click Get License and you will go through the motions of actually purchasing a license. Okay, that concludes my demo. I hope this was useful and I hope you enjoyed the tool. Thanks for your attention.